Hey everybody, BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Thorton Hills Zoo. So today in the zoo here, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and it starts off right away here. Yeah, we're deleting the entrance. I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I finally bit the bullet and just went ahead and did it pretty drastically there. So yeah, the entire entranceway up to the flamingos and where it kind of takes a left down into the quote-unquote older part of the zoo has been ripped out and gutted, along with the parking lot as well. Now, I have saved a few things from the entrance, namely I saved our sign for Thornton Hills Zoo because I do like how that turned out, and I saved a few parking spots, so when we redo our parking lot, that will be able to be easy to kind of replace there. So reasoning why, you're probably like, what the heck, I like the entrance to the zoo, whatever. I also like the entrance to the zoo. And it worked for a while there, but to be honest with you, I've kind of had this thought in the back of my head that I just wanted it to be different, and the entrance to the zoo was kind of, I guess you'd say rash, I guess. You know, the game had just come out and it was like the first day, and I was just really excited to build a zoo and stuff like that, and I had some kind of general ideas, but, you know, I wasn't too familiar with the, I guess, building pieces that we had, and to an extent the controls, and we were a little limited at release as well with some of the, you know, sandbox mechanics that were lacking, I guess you'd say. So just a lot of things combined. I kind of rushed the entrance, I guess you'd say, and I kind of gave myself some quote-unquote story elements to kind of justify me rushing my my entrance there, you know, saying it's the old entrance of the zoo, and they haven't redone it in a long time, so that's why it's kind of not as up to date or whatever. And you know, that worked for a little bit, but again, I've kind of had this thought in my head to do a bigger, more grandiose kind of entranceway, and that's what we're kind of doing here. So you can kind of see that it's going to be a main huge building, and that's what we're going to cover in this first episode of our entrance revamp there. Is just going to be the exterior of the building for the most part. We do some interior, but we kind of set ourselves up for the most part to get the interior done. So this is going to be a multi-stage, multi-phased out process here, construction process if you want there. So the first little bit here is the outside of our building, and I kept in a lot of I guess you'd say, I just want to say fluff, I guess you'd say, but a lot of the mistakes that I kind of made kind of going through the process of building, because a lot of times when I'm building, and other YouTubers as well, we'll cut out a lot of maybe, you know, the time that we're just kind of going back and forth, maybe our designs aren't coming together, and this one I tried to keep a lot of that together, and that's probably why we could have maybe crammed in some of the interior and some of the plaza and stuff like that, but I kind of wanted to have an episode where you kind of see me struggling a little bit. This was a multi-day build. In the end, it looks like it shouldn't have taken a multi-day kind of thing, but we were busy in between there, so I didn't play the game for like 2 days straight and come up with the end result. So I just want to make that clear. But yeah, no, it was just I just wanted to kind of show that you know, like I said, a lot of YouTubers, myself included, will kind of cut out the little in between times where you know, a lot of you experience it as well, I'm sure, where you're just kind of like, I don't know what to do next, or I'm going to try this. Nope, that didn't really work out. So instead of cutting a lot of that out, kind of kept that in there. So again, that's what the this first episode is going to be about. Then the next few episodes are going to be about kind of doing the interior there. I'm gonna try and really do a nice interior with this building. The purpose of this giant building is kind of to be a multi-purpose building there. So it's gonna eventually, you're gonna see we're gonna be putting in some glass there, because I took some inspiration from, I think it's the Calgary Zoo. There's probably other zoos that do this as well, but the Calgary Zoo had this really interesting kind of modern building looking like this, and then it had an attached I think you say like aviary or conservatory as well, with a bunch, or like a botanical indoor garden. So I kind of wanted to do that, where we have this front building here. That's a really, you know, new modern looking building there and everything. That's going to house, there's, for our facilities in there for right now, I have like some toilets, an information shop, and I think an eatery on one side. So yeah, you'd think there'd be like probably a ticket booth area and an entrance little area, maybe a customer service area inside there, maybe a small little restaurant, and, you know, and then like maybe a gift shop / information shop as well. So this is kind of a, you know, one-stop shop when you get into the zoo there building. So a lot of zoos do this, and I've took inspiration for this build from the, let's see what it's called, the Birmingham Zoo. Now, I don't think they actually built out this building. I looked it up, and if they did, it was on a much lesser extent than what the concept art showed, which is usually the case. The concept art is meant to show kind of like, wow, this could be this pretty if you wanted it to be for the small price of all your money. So, but yeah, no, we took, like I said, took inspiration from the Birmingham Zoo concept art. I think it's one of the first concept arts that have come up, so I'm sure other people, on Google that is, so I'm sure other people have probably done some concept, or done some buildings based on this as well. So I don't do an exact replication of it. Like I said, I took references from the Birmingham Zoo, the Calgary Zoo. We're gonna take some general references from malls in general for the plaza area. I kind of want to make this really wide open. I say that now, it'll probably change. Everything changes, especially with my builds. But yeah, from here, from the building here, I want you to kind of go out into a big plaza area that kind of goes down into the zoo and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to work on the plaza. There's gonna be a lot of kind of fun guess designs, you'd say, inside the flooring and stuff like that, using a lot of the art shapes and stuff. So I'm gonna take a lot of inspiration, or kind of got the jumpstart inspiration for that from watching the Koala Zoo episode and watching Mr. Silverette do what he does. If you haven't watched that, definitely look up Koala Zoo. That looks like that could be a really, really fun project. I know the Planet Coaster version of it was definitely something to watch there, so make sure you're watching that. But yeah, and that episode, Silv, he basically covered up their entire front plaza area with art shapes and different building pieces, and it turned out great. Just looks so much better than just the normal, I guess you'd say, like, concrete and stuff like that. So we're gonna try and do that as well there. So oh, my dog got excited. One second, let me see what he's excited about. Okay, I think he saw a leaf blow by the window, so he had to bark at it. Of course, why wouldn't he? He's a 4-month-old puppy. He barks at everything. So, but yeah, anyways, yeah, just wrapping that all up. If you're not watching Koala Zoo, be sure to watch that. The first episode was definitely awesome there to see, and yeah, I got a lot of inspiration for doing some like floor designs and different things like that. So, but yeah, for this building here, again, we kind of switched out the initial wall texture there. Kind of used that. I don't even know what you call it, the modern African wall texture. The really bright kind of yellowish kind of wall there. Switched out for more of an earthy tone, more darker tone. I think it really comes together. And I wanted this building to really feel like kind of a the modern kind of feel that the Birmingham Zoo concept art had, but I also wanted to kind of incorporate this brick as well. So that kind of looks, again, just kind of like the old and new kind of come together. So you have this old brick on the sides there, and even up above you'll see we do some different bricks for the glass and stuff like that. But yeah, just kind of combining this kind of new architecture or kind of sleek wood designs with the brick and stuff. And I think it kind of turns out really, really nicely there. So, but overall for the interior there, we're probably not gonna do like the restaurant and the gift shop and stuff like that, and the information stand. Probably not gonna do the interior of those. But as you can see behind there just a little bit, the big glass area there, we're gonna have to do some sort of interior for that, because that is wide the heck open. So the ideas that I'm tossing around for that, for the most part, are yeah, just basically like a conservatory or a garden in there. So might try and sneak some waterfalls in, because have to sneak some waterfalls in there. We might make it like a walkthrough exhibit as well. Maybe we could put some like peafowl or something like that in there, because again, if we could, I'd really like it to be an aviary. And I'm really hoping that, in the future that we can get some birds in there, some sort of bird, hopefully that Frontier releases a DLC or an update that we can get something like that. But yeah, in the meantime, maybe we'll have some peafowl in there. But yeah, kind of just put a nice little garden inside of our big glass dome area there. So, yeah, what else is going on the channel there? You can also look out for in a few days there, or maybe in a day or so. There's going to be a video coming out of a zoo tour. Well, not completely a tour, more of just like a one-off kind of thing. My wife and I were invited by my mom there to visit a local zoo I had no idea was around. Very, very small zoo. So this is going to be like a really short video showing up. Yeah, I didn't even know it was around. It's less than 10 minutes away from me. And basically one of her friends raised a bunch of money for the zoo, and they were going to go drop it off and kind of walk around the area. And they invited us to come out and look at the zoo and stuff like that as well. So kind of did a little vlog there, just kind of shot some footage there. Going to do a voiceover, kind of talk about our experience with the zoo and stuff. But it's really neat to kind of we're going to get a different look at it. It's not a over grandiose zoo or anything like that. Definitely not. It's on the lower end. But the reason I want to show it off and talk about it is just because a lot of times when you see on these zoo vlogs, rightfully so, it's always of these really awesome zoos, like I did the Brookfield Zoo, or other people do like the Bronx Zoo, or whatever, these really awesome zoos. But I think it's good to also look at some of these not as up to date or smaller zoos, but they're still trying to do good there. Like I said, this zoo here, they're trying to really redefine themselves a little bit, redo themselves, because it is basically a big farm. It's big farmland that happens to have some cages spread around the farm and stuff like that, and they house rescue animals for the most part. So they have like hyenas, and during the summer they bring out their like giraffes, and they have a zebra, and like they have some Arctic foxes. But the cages, they're not up to date at all. They're trying their best with the limited resources that they have. It is a city zoo, but the city is they have less than, I think, 20,000 people in the city. So they're trying to do the best they can. Their donations are kind of smaller, but again, I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to kind of look at that kind of zoo and kind of talk about it, because while it's kind of a controversial topic when animals aren't in these big lavish habitats, it is a reality of the situation where not all zoos or areas can kind of do that, but they're still doing the best that they can with the limited resources that are provided to them. So yeah, again, that video will be out in the next day or so. We'll just have to do a little bit of some editing and voiceover of that, and then we'll take a look at the I can't even remember the name of the zoo, but I think it was the Summerfield Zoo or the Summerdale Zoo, but yeah, just something a little bit different there. So but what's going on with the building here, I really like the idea of putting these sage bushes up top here. You see this with a lot of kind of modern architecture, I guess, kind of bringing in a natural feel to a building by putting like a rooftop garden and stuff. So yeah, I definitely wanted to do that as well. And something that I found out, I don't know if anyone else has been doing this, but these box planters here, I think it's the modern box planter. If you flip that upside down, it's some like really nice trim. That's what I use for the white trim on the side of the brick there. Yeah, it's literally just the it's a box planter, like the modern theme box planter or something. Yeah, and I just flipped it upside down and it matched up perfectly to the trim of the top of the brick there, and I thought that looked really, really cool, really, really nice there. So but for the most part, that is the structure of the building there, and yeah, I really, really like how it turned out, like the kind of curve that we did there. If you're not sure how to make a curved building like that, each curved section of the building there in front is a separate building. So I will kind of separate the building out and make it a separate one, and then turn it by 15 degrees when I separate it. So each one is a separate building, then turned 15 degrees. And my cats are getting into it now. I have all the animals in here today because my wife's at work right now, so I don't want them to get into anything like Christmas decorations. They're all getting into it. But anyways, yeah, those are all separate buildings, and you can turn separate buildings, on an angle snap there. I'm so distracted. On an angle snap and get a curvature to it a little bit. So, but yeah, I'm so distracted now. I'm probably going to let the rest of the time go because there's not really much left. For the most part, we redo this entire, oh yeah, that's right. We redo this entire back, atrium glass area here, or the conservatory, just because I kind of shot myself in the foot by putting the initial building like off the grid, so nothing was really lining up too well. I could have spent some more time to really line things up, but it was just really giving me a headache, and I knew it was one of those things where I just kind of had to bite the bullet. This whole episode's just about biting the bullet and doing it, but I just had to bite the bullet and redo it because, like I said, I started the building off the grid just slightly, and it just was giving me a bummer to kind of fill it in here. That's why you see right now just kind of struggling with filling it in. So yeah, pretty quick here, we just kind of just eventually just get rid of the building and try again. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up, though, after we redo the this exterior here. It looks pretty much the same, though, after all is said and done. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So after that, we're gonna do the interior, like I was talking about. Hopefully, maybe get a peafowl habitat in there, or if anything, it's just gonna be a really, really lush botanical garden with hopefully some waterfalls and stuff like that. I'm actually thinking of Navy Pier. Navy Pier has, in Chicago, Chicago. Navy Pier has a really nice indoor botanical garden with like jumping fountains and waterfalls and stuff like that. I might model it a little bit after that, but we'll see. You never know. Like I said, I kind of change my mind every 2 seconds about things. So, but yeah, the next few episodes, like I said, we'll go ahead and cover the interior, the plaza, and then yeah, eventually after we're done with the entrance plaza, move back into our North American section of the zoo and start to tie things up. So yeah, we're all over the place in Thornton Hills Zoo, but what would you expect? Do you expect anything less from me? No, probably not. I have ADHD. I go everywhere, okay? Stick with me. So hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out. There's only a few more minutes left of the time lapse, so go ahead and finish it out there. But yeah, hey, thanks so much for hanging out. I always do appreciate it. And until the next episode of Thornton Hills Zoo, have a good one.